I take it
Okay,
we're on.
we're live. I'm still adjusting the camera.
We don't know what we're doing. We've never done this before. It's YouTube Live. There's like 1,000 settings. We're used to radio.
Yeah. So I have two monitors, and you won't see me hardly ever looking at the camera because I have a monitor over here and a monitor over there.
Big giant TV screen.
It's kind of the camera is. Maybe we should. Can you reach the remote?
What remote?
The bed remote.
Yeah.
We should probably bring the bed down a little bit. Oh, it's good.
Wait. Hey, it's getting cold. Here.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
Bring this down a little bit so everybody's not looking up our nose.
I'm in a bed that's on a remote control, so you're going to see us move. It's not an earthquake. We are in California.
There. See, that's better. Even better.
I'm moving.
You are. Slowly.
And then we got a wireless webcam that we're trying out. This is our very first broadcast, streamcast, with a new wireless web camera. Has no wires. It hooks wirelessly to the computer.
Oh, no, that's too far.
Yeah, you go too far, you're going to drive my feet into the
Now
floor.
we're getting headspace.
All right.
Okay. There we go.
This is all adjustment. We've never done this before. So.
Also, I don't know if anybody's going to get notified because I'm told by the different bloggers and YouTubers that we watch that if you hit the notification button, everybody will get a notification when you go live. But
so you're live on YouTube, but it's like in a post on Facebook, right?
No, it's just live on YouTube. I have to go share it on Facebook now.
All right.
So I'll do that on my phone.
We don't have to worry about talking all the time. It's not radio. Waiting for people to come on. See, I got my little watch here because I'm blind. So check this out. Here's what I do. I want to know what time it is.
The time is 9:36 p.m.
It talks to me because I can't see it. It's 9:36 at night.
What's funny is that
and it tells the date too much. Here's. Then you press it again.
The date is February 28th, May, Friday.
So there's information for you.
What's funny though is that
you know what time it is and the date.
The watch is from like China or Japan, and so it says things in a weird kind of phrasing sometimes.
Does it give our personal information to the dictator runs China? Which is probably shared to the dictator that runs the United States. But that's okay.
Oh, there was a fight at the White House today.
Yes, there was. There was a fight between Trump and Zelensky, who's the leader of the Ukraine.
Right.
And I was waiting for Trump to punch him. It came damn near close, didn't it?
It did.
It was Trump and the vice president against Zelensky. He didn't have nobody with him. Some of those Russian, Ukrainian women could have probably kicked their asses.
Probably.
But.
Okay, so I'm trying to find how to get. Oh wait, here's the link. Here's the link. Okay, okay. I'm gonna put it over on Facebook now.
And tell everybody we're on because we're alone over here. Because this is new. It wasn't announced. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. Everybody's in bed. We're just trying it out. We're going to be doing it probably once a week, maybe on Fridays, because that way we promote the radio show for the next day, which is tomorrow.
Yeah, which as soon as I get this up there, we need to talk about what we're doing tomorrow.
Don't give them everything at once. We got to fill up some time here. Right now we're posting on Facebook. And hopefully YouTube won't go out of business. We had another major service we use go out of business, which is going to affect everyone. Talk about that too. Just trying to think of things to say. It would help if somebody was here and they were talking to us.
Okay. I shared it on the Facebook.
You might notice I need to shave. I haven't shaved.
I look like don't even worry about it. I look like a wreck.
Well, I hate people. It's like, okay, we're gonna go on webcam. Let's do hair and makeup. That's just crazy.
Well, my hair is up or was up. It fell out, but I'm putting it back up because
My hair is falling out. Don't complain.
because it needs to be washed.
Right. So
And
do I.
then
I sweat a lot.
I got up early this morning
Fucking
and
James Brown here.
had worked like an 11-hour day in my day job. Hard labor on the computer, you understand?
Yeah.
But everybody might be in bed. We can talk about it if you want to. I don't know if you want to say anything of importance unless we see.
Well, let's start out with what
chat.
was canceled today.
Yeah, because I actually just saw a post from Ghosty on Facebook where he put up the logo and he said RIP. So the news is getting around. Everybody's aware of it.
Everyone's used it. Ghosty's used it to come on the radio show. We've been doing CRAGG Live for like almost 25 years, right? Like how many years? 23?
23. Yeah, 23. Because we started in 2002, right around when I graduated high school.
And we started out in the early days. We were on Live 365. We started out using a phone. Actually,
which
used a
sounded
telephone.
horrible. If you listen to some of our CRAGG Lives,
Marky Ramone, Roy Rogers Jr.,
the classic CRAGG Lives that we've been going back and playing, some of the older ones you can actually hear that we're on a phone, and you can tell because it sounds like we're doing walkie-talkies.
Right.
And you can actually hear it pick up and put down the phone. But yeah, we started on a phone that was hardwired into the board with a phone tap.
And then Oprah started talking about this new software called Skype.
And we're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Nobody's there. I'm just looking at
And Skype was great in the fact that it improved over the years. And when we first used it, I think we first tested it with Tim. And it was scary because he sounded like he's in a room with you. Sounded like the voice of God.
Was it Tim?
Yeah, I think it was Tim tested with us. I think our first test Skype was with.
I remember distinctly. It might have been Tim that we tested it with, but I remember because we did start using Skype.
Yeah.
And we used it for just phone calls for our interviews. But see, the way Skype works is that you can do Skype to Skype. Which is your computer calling the other person's computer.
I got neck problems, excuse me.
Or you can call a phone number if you have Skype credits, which we had. We did like a monthly plan to do Skype credits. Now, normally we use Skype credits because we would call our guests on their home phone or their cell phone or whatever.
Because a lot of celebrities were old school and they didn't have computer stuff. They just had a phone.
Right. But I remember distinctly the first time we were interviewing somebody, I think it was somebody who did like a haunted sanitarium documentary or something like that. And he was doing Skype to Skype and he had a webcam hooked to his Skype. And during the interview, his camera came up and we saw him and it was like he was right in the room with us. And you and I were both like, oh.
We did some of that later. It was only supposed to be radio. He didn't realize that nobody's going to see him. He had a suit on.
He was all ready. Sharp, yeah.
Sat there. But we finally wound up doing a video call with David Selby.
Yes.
Dark Shadows and with the guy from Reanimator.
Brian Usna,
man, you could tell that guy's a filmmaker.
He had
a set and the lighting.
Tiki shirt and all. Yeah.
But what's going on with Skype? Why are we talking about Skype?
So it was announced today on the news, and
Shocking.
we found out about it on the news, and then I went over and checked our email, and we got an email confirming that it was true. Skype they're calling it merging, but I'm calling it going out of business. Skype is going out of business. That's why Ghosty posted a RIP Skype on Facebook. And they are ending service as of, I think, May 3rd or May 5th. One or the other. It is within the first 5 days of May. And basically what they're saying is that, all services will stop. So they're saying that they are merging. What they're saying is they are merging with Microsoft Teams, which Terry's never used Teams. I've used it like once or twice, and only because through my day job, my work, we have Microsoft Office 365 licenses, and those are so you can use like Excel and Word and Access and things like that, and they come with a license to use Microsoft Teams. So Skype is going away, and they're saying, don't worry, you can still use Microsoft Teams because we're merging with Microsoft Teams, but the translation is really that they're being swallowed up into Microsoft Teams, and I don't know why they've decided to do this, unless it's just because of competition with Zoom or whatever. Or my suspicion is that they figured that they would probably make more money off of selling the monthly licenses for Office 365 that comes with Microsoft Teams. It depends on what level you get. I think they start at like $12.95 a month, and can go all the way up to like $23, $25 a month.
So you can still do it by using that, but regular Skype, you need to uninstall it by May 6th. 5th?
Yeah,
5th or
5th, May 5th, May 3rd or 5th.
Because it's going bye-bye, and we're fine as far as, well, we stopped it because I don't want any money taken out of it anymore. But we're prepaid for our phone number. We had a private phone number that we gave out to callers, and we're prepaid, and we're going to lose all that money.
Yeah, because we're paid up through July,
and
we would pay once a year and pay for it annually. So, yeah, I don't know why you would think in this day and age when everybody is telecommuting and all that kind of stuff that they would be doing gangbusters. But I think because Skype was based off of anybody could do computer to computer Skype for free. Like you didn't have to pay anything. In fact, when we would talk to Crispin Glover, we did computer to computer Skype.
We could always tell when he was online.
Yeah, he always had his Skype up when he was on his computer online. But and the only time that they charge you for anything is if you had like a landline phone number, or if you paid for credits or minutes to be able to call a cell phone or a landline or a physical number.
We paid 3 ways. One was to do to phone.
Yeah.
And another way was to have a phone number.
Right.
Because some of them, used a phone. They didn't have a computer. But we're not going to get that money back. We're prepaid on our phone number for a year. One time, it hooks into the PA, and I can't say the name, Alexa. And one time, like, the PA went off, and it was like, Larry Butler is trying to talk to you. And it's like, what? So I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's crazy. I can't believe that this Skype's going away, because that was like an integral part of the show. And from now on, if we do any interviews, I do very few, far in between interviews. If I ever do any interviews again, it'll be selective and seldom. Like, recently it was Burt Ward, and it was Elvis's jeweler. Okay. But outside of that, I haven't done much. Oh, and the News Review.
Right.
That too, this past year. But it's going to be few and far between. But from now on, they're going to have to decide between either calling our cell phone or doing Facebook Messenger or doing Zoom.
Right.
The Skype is done. So take it out of your computer. It's gone. It's done. And those of you that are prepaid, you got fucked. That's just the way to say it, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to see. I wish there was somebody that would pop over just so I can know if people can hear us.
Yeah, I want to know if you can see us and hear us.
This is the first time I've actually gone live through the YouTube platform, so it's very possible I could have done it incorrectly.
And the only reason we're doing this is because we watch a lot of, they call them bloggers, Jordan the Lion and Scott Michaels and this and that and those people. And we always enjoy just watching them sit around talking to people. We thought we'd try it. It's going to take a while to build up clientele. We come on Friday night at 10 o'clock at night. You're not going to get nobody.
You should probably announce it before you do it.
Well, I wasn't sure we could get it to work.
We never know when we're gonna do it.
We got this $150 camera, and I didn't know if it was going to work. I guess it works.
The only thing, I think the video works. I can see the video. The only thing is, there's 2 things I don't know.
We don't know if you can hear us.
I don't know if you can hear us because the settings were kind of wonky, because also the Zoom that we had.
Take out your phone and tune it in and see if you can hear it on the phone.
The Zoom that we had on the browser was a little bit big, so I couldn't see all the buttons.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is there's a slide. So I don't know if when people are scrolling through live, if they can actually see us or they just see a slide until they tune in.
You could message Tim and tell him to come on over and let us know what's going on. He's usually our test person.
Ho-Ho's trying to be on camera.
Well, that's good.
He's right here.
Oh. Is he there? I can't even see. Oh, there he is.
Don't bump his head. He's like, ah.
Cats love cameras. They always
especially Ho-Ho. He always photo bombs.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can tune us.
Yeah, just, turn it on and see if you can hear us. You might get a delay or an echo or a noise or feedback. See if you can see and hear us. Ugh. I have more gas at the gas station right now. But for those of you that don't know much about us, we have our YouTube account here. Oh, I can hear me. Oh, we're working.
It's working.
All right, that's good enough.
Okay.
All right, so we have our YouTube account, and on our YouTube account, we post our interviews from our radio show, minus the music, because we can't do music on YouTube. So selected interviews you can hear intact, uncut, and also a little short edited, because you do the little short videos.
Which I just started doing this week.
What is YouTube Shorts?
YouTube Shorts is 60 seconds or less, videos that are 60 seconds or less in length.
Because they're trying to be like
TikTok.
TikTok.
And they have to be in vertical video, like it's something that you shot on your iPhone.
Right.
Or whatever. So what I'm doing is I put up our interviews that we've done over the past, well, I say 23 years, but it's actually more than that, because we have some interviews that you did for the magazines. That you did for,
the way it is, I've been
WUV.
in broadcasting for 49 years.
Right.
Over the air, AM, FM, on television, and now on the internet. And the last 23 has been on the internet. And next year will be my 50th year. And for a long time, we've had a station called Cult Radio Go-Go, short for CRAGG, which stands for Cult Radio Go-Go, CRAGG. And we're on 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on all the apps, anywhere that you go to get an app. We're on the Roku.
We're everywhere.
We're on Apple, on the Apple TV, on the Apple phone. We're everywhere you can get apps, except for basically Fire, but you can get us through a browser or whatever. But we're everywhere there, and we got the radio station, and for every week for the past 23 years, we've had a live show on Saturday nights. And we've had a plethora of guests. A lot of those interviews wind up here on YouTube.
Yeah, and hopefully more. I've been trying to, I'll go through phases to where I'll have some time and I'll do like 3 a week. And then it'll be way too long before I get more up. So I'm trying to start being more consistent about it. But I put up the full-length interview. It's not the whole radio show. We can't do the whole radio show.
You can't do music on YouTube.
Can't do music. You get a strike. You're not allowed to do that. So I'm putting up the celebrity interviews that we do, and then to help try to promote those and drive people to get interested in listening to the full-length interview, I'm putting up YouTube Shorts.
Because we're now on TikTok too.
We're on TikTok too, of which I have a bone to pick with people on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because we just joined TikTok like maybe a couple weeks ago. And I've gotten...
We joined it because they were going to ban it. And if you ban something, we're going to do it.
The minute you say you can't do it, we're going to do it. But the bone I have to pick with people on TikTok is I have gotten thousands of views over there. And I don't even... If you look at our YouTube library, we have quite a few YouTube videos, like quite a few. We've had our YouTube account for like 8 years. And while we're just doing the interviews as of like the last couple of years, putting old archived interviews up, we've had a YouTube account for like 8 years. So there's a lot of videos up there. But on TikTok... And
we're getting money from YouTube finally.
Monetization. Right.
Yeah. Finally got $100. Wow.
Right.
Not like other tours give it.
But on TikTok, I've put up maybe like a dozen videos so far.
Yeah.
And I've gotten thousands and thousands and thousands of views. I mean, we're talking like 12,000 plus views or more.
So you get more on TikTok than you do on YouTube.
So far, yes. But everybody views and scrolls and views and scrolls, and they'll even like or share it or maybe even comment, but nobody freaking follows you on TikTok. It's because it's not built to be like Facebook or old archaic Friendster or MySpace, to where like your network is all based off of who you friend or follow.
On Facebook and that, they don't see you unless they're part of your stream.
Right.
But with TikTok,
it's
they
all
show
the
up everywhere.
algorithm. It's all the algorithm. It's
Right.
the kind of stuff that you post. It's the hashtags that you use, and trying to push your content onto what they call a person's For You page, which certain videos are curated for a person based on other stuff that they've watched. So TikTok will track, like, if I go on TikTok and I do a search, or I tend to watch and stay on videos that are of a certain topic, like cooking or cats, then somebody who puts up content and related to those topics, their videos are going to show up on my For You page, which is my stream. And that's great because you get exposure to people, whether you're on your friends list or not. But nobody's following. Nobody hits follow. Hit the freaking follow button. And because I need to get to 1,000 followers
to do monetization.
And then I don't care. Then you can just scroll by, and I'll just get my couple of pennies for you scrolling by. That's fine.
Anyway.
But stop being looky-loos and hit the follow button.
Those of you on YouTube, follow us right now on TikTok. How can they find us?
You go over to TikTok and you just look up cult_radio. We're at cult_radio over there.
So at CULT_RADIO.
Yes.
So follow us here on YouTube, unless you already have, and follow us over on TikTok.
And if you're following us on YouTube, make sure to hit the notification button so you get notified when we go live. Because
we're going to do more.
I don't think we're going to get any people in chat tonight, but we're going to try this, and hopefully on a either earlier or on a different night.
Well, the cats are watching.
The cats are watching.
But anyway, as I was starting to say, okay, I've been in broadcasting for 49 years, legitimate AM, FM, over the air, legitimate commercial radio station, not college radio, regular commercial radio, and do an internet radio for 23. And we still do our Saturday show, even though we now have a mixture. We're not live every week. We used to be live every single week. Now, because of my health reasons that I'll go into another time, we do the best of CRAGG, which are old shows that we re-air that haven't been heard in years, but we air them on Saturday nights as if they were live. And then we do news shows. We had a news show last week.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of kind of like documentary, kind of like tributes. Like last week's show, what was on our friend from Twin Peaks. And you know who that is?
Harry Dean Stanton.
Harry Dean Stanton. I was trying to get you
I
to
was
say
distracted.
The name flew out of my head.
Yeah, Harry Dean.
So anyway, we still do Saturday nights, 5 p.m. Pacific to 8 p.m. Pacific, usually. And it's either a news show or it's a Best of CRAGG. And meanwhile, the station's on 24/7. In addition to that, we have 4 other stations. We have Cult Radio, which is the best of drive-in movie, movies, TV, and pop culture. I have a cat. Oh, here it is. It's the best of TV, pop culture, movies, and oldies. And then what's our other 4 stations we have? What are?
So we have Cult Radio, which is the main street.
He has no fur. It's a hairless cat.
He's like, what are you doing? He does have hair on his tail.
His name is Imhotep.
He doesn't know his name.
Named after the Boris Karloff character in The Mummy.
He's a Sphinx. Get it? Egyptian Sphinx.
Yeah. And his nickname is Ho-Ho.
Ho-Ho.
He doesn't know Imhotep. He only answers to Ho-Ho.
So we have Cult Radio Go-Go CRAGG, which is our main station. Yeah. And then we have horror.
It's like the cat in Austin Powers.
Horror and Halloween Radio.
Okay, so we have Cult Radio. We have Horror and Halloween Radio. What is that?
That is 24/7 horror and Halloween themed music, old time radio, sound effects,
parody songs,
soundtracks,
like Bobby Moore's
movie trailers from horror movies and anything that's Halloween themed, including like fun like Halloween stuff like joke CDs, like you get like little cheesy Halloween jokes about vampires and witches, stuff like that. Parody songs, Monster Mash.
So if you like the stuff that comes on other stations at Halloween time, we have it all year long.
All year long.
And all our stations, no commercials. The only commercials you hear are retro commercials for fun.
Right.
We don't do advertising.
Right.
So what's our third station?
Our third station is Christmas at the Drive-In, which is 24/7 Christmas and holiday themed content, but it's with a drive-in pop culture flair. So you will hear your traditional Christmas stuff, your standards, White Christmas, things like that.
Bing Crosby.
But
whatever.
you will also hear Christmas music by celebrities, especially celebrities from the world of pop culture, B-movies, drive-in films, horror films, blaxploitation.
Dolomite,
Rudy Ray
Partridge
Moore,
Family,
James Brown,
Jackson 5.
also Christmas movie trailers, not only regular Christmas movies, standard Christmas movies, but horror Christmas movies, things like that.
And old-time radio renditions of It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, Scrooge, Rudolph, Rankin Bass stuff. Yeah.
And then our fourth station is called As Heard on TV, which is
a hybrid out of CRAGG, really.
It is, kind of. It's 24/7 of classic television themes, retro TV commercial, like audio from retro TV commercials, audio from educational films, movie trailers, kind of any of that stuff. I'm laughing because if anybody's watching right now, they'd be laughing because Ho-Ho just came up from the table and you just saw like an extreme close-up of his nose.
I just want to make sure he doesn't jump on our new camera.
And then our fifth station is OTR, which stands for Old Timer Radio.
And it's Old Time Radio.
It is Old Time Radio. It's 24/7 Old Time Radio.
And somebody said one time we were old crotchety radio, so we got Old Timer Radio.
It's not just like the ones you hear all the time, like the drama ones. Like there's fun ones in there, like game shows that were on Old Time Radio, and comedies, and Mother's Best Flower Radio Hour hosted by Hank Williams.
They're really rare.
Yeah, so it's a really fun, rare stuff.
Now, all of these stations have free apps on Apple products, which is the iPad, the iPhone, Apple TV, and on the Roku. They're all free all the time, no fee, and access to the station. There's also bonus content on there. And you could also get us on a browser by going to
CRAGGradio.com, CRAGGRADIO.com.
And if you like to type more, it's Cult Radio Agogo. CultRadioAgogo.com or CRAGG Radio.
When you go to CRAGGradio.com, all 5 of the stations are actually linked there. You want to find the image that looks like a tabletop jukebox, like the little jukeboxes you would see at like Mel's Diner that was on the restaurant table.
One's in the booth.
And you make a selection like you would on a jukebox. Like all 5 of the stations are there. You just click the selection for the station that you want, and then it'll take you to the page.
Pop up.
Yep.
You can also hear us. There's links on the site to a place. As long as we're still there. There was a little discrepancy with they wanted to start charging broadcasters, and we refused to do it, but we're still there. So whatever. As long as we're still there, check Get Me Radio to where it's kind of neat that not only can you hear us, there's album artwork and graphics.
Yes.
You can see the person singing and stuff.
I don't know.
We're supposed to be paying. We're not paying, and they ain't taking us down yet.
Their takedown is not as effective as I bet Skype's is going to be.
Yeah, it's a scam to try to get broadcasters to pay, because we are also on Apple Music. Apple does not charge us. They're Apple, but this little Get Me Radio, like who the hell are they?
Yeah. And
they're charging. Okay, we're not paying it. If they keep us up, we're still there. If they take us down,
Apple
we're
does
gone.
Charge us to put out free apps.
Yeah.
As a developer,
we've had
pay a developer fee
throughout the years physical signed paper contracts with Microsoft and Apple.
Right.
And I ain't gonna worry about this little Get Me Radio company.
No.
If they want to take us down, fine. But we're still there. So listen to us over there. But we're available there, and we're also available on the ALEXA and on the Google
Home.
Google Home too.
Yeah.
You just say the wake word. You say play, like CRAGG, Cult Radio Agogo. Sometimes you got to spell it out. Sometimes you don't. Or the other stations on TuneIn, which is what you get through the ALXA. There's only available CRAGG and Horror and Halloween Radio. But on the My Tuner app and on the Get Me Radio app, which the Get Me Radio app don't work on the ALXA, but the one I recommend is not TuneIn, it's My Tuner. My Tuner, put that skill on your ALEXA, it gets all 5 stations.
Yeah.
If you want to get it through TuneIn, which is also on the ALEXA, well, it gets 2 stations, which is CRAGG and a Halloween station. But the My Tuner skill on the ALEXA, you got to install it. It's all 5 stations.
So,
is that understandable?
Yes.
I ramble a lot.
Yeah. I will end up putting this on social media so that everybody is aware of it. But for our show tomorrow,
yes,
we are going to be airing a classic CRAGG tomorrow. I don't know the year that it's from because I haven't looked it up.
It was when the X-Files had their Fox revival.
I think it was like 2017.
At the end of it.
2017, 2018.
In fact, I won't say who it is. I'll let you do that. But our guest was a very important regular on the show, and we broke the news to him on the air that he was fired.
I feel so bad.
Because the show was canceled. They never told him. Which happens. It happens.
It happens a lot.
With American Dreams,
they don't tell you.
Yeah.
I guess they don't want drama. They don't want people to be sad or upset about it. But anyway, we're going to be airing a classic CRAGG live tomorrow. The show will start at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 8 o'clock on the East Coast. And we're going to be airing the show where we had our interview. I think it's like circa like 2016, 2017-ish. We're going to be airing the show where our guest was actor William B. Davis, who you may not know him by name, but you will know his character. He played the smoking man on The X-Files.
And he's also in Upload on Amazon Prime.
Upload is coming back. They've finished filming it, and the new season is coming on Amazon Prime. Amazon Go Home. I said the word. But it's not going to be out until like fall. Yeah. But one of the reasons why we're running the William B. Davis show this weekend tomorrow is because we've heard a rumor, and we thought it was BS. But come to find out, it might be true. Like, it looks like it is true that they're potentially going to be bringing the X-Files back for a 3rd time.
What about David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson and William B. Davis? They come back.
Well, see, there's conflicting information. See, this is the problem. So,
let's call it William B. Davis. We have his phone number.
If you are an X-Files fan, you know that it was on the first time in the mid-90s. Then it came back in like 2016, and when they came back, it was successful because they had Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny came back, and so did William B. Davis as the smoking man. And I think Skinner came back too. I think they were all there.
William B. Davis supposedly got killed.
It's the X-Files. It doesn't matter.
You said nobody dies.
Nobody dies. It's like Dark Shadows. Nobody dies. They just come up with a different storyline to explain it. So, we had seen an interview with David Duchovny on the red carpet in Australia, to where the lady was talking, the reporter had asked him about rumors about there being an X-Files reunion, another one, because he's been seen a lot hanging out with Gillian Anderson. And he's like, oh, well, I'm sure people are going to talk even more after this weekend because he was at the Emmys with her and all this other kind of stuff. So out of curiosity, we asked the PA, the ALXEA, which we ask everything, like everything.
Everything.
And it had said...
It knows stuff about you.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It knows your phone number. It knows your waist size.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it had said that there is an X-Files reboot.
What?
Now, it didn't say didn't say a revival.
Or a 3rd time.
It said a reboot, which is the only thing that's concerning me.
Which could mean different characters.
Right.
And not the same.
So we had asked
because there was one time when the 2 stars quit.
Season 7 of the original series, David Duchovny left.
I have to lean back. My back's feeling.
And then Gillian was still there. And then season 8, Gillian left. And then that was it until they came back for the revival series, which was like 2016, 2017, shortly after the revival series of Twin Peaks, which we always thought was weird and interesting because It was about the same time frame, and David Duchovny was in both.
Yeah.
So they said that there is a reboot. Then we asked the PA, and the PA said that it was that David Duchovny, Gillian Anderson, the actor who plays Detective Skinner, or he's not a detective.
He's the head of.
He's Director Skinner.
Director
Skinner. And William B. Davis, who plays the Smoking Man, we're all four going to be in this new reboot. So we got super excited.
Except Chris Carter's not involved.
But then we were like getting some conflicting information about like the years and when. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just look it up on the internet myself on Google. And I looked it up. I found a couple of articles. I reposted one on social media. So there is supposedly a reboot happening. It is being done. It is being funded, produced by Disney, because Disney is buying up every major pop culture fandom.
Marvel, Star Wars, Doctor Who, Disney stuff, and Fox.
They're actually really smart because what Disney
they own Rocky Horror.
What Disney is doing is they're buying up all of the properties that have big nerd fan bases.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, X-Files, Doctor Who, Marvel, all of those they have these huge fanatic nerd fan bases where these people spend the money, they buy the toys, they go to the conventions, they pay for the autographs at the autograph sessions, and they'll come back 25 years later. I mean, it's kind of like if you can get a cult following, which is what X-Files has, which is what Twin Peaks has, which is what Star Wars has, Marvel, all of those, then you're set for life. Right. So Disney is producing it. It is confirmed that Chris Carter, who created the original X-Files, is not going to be involved with the reboot.
That probably will suck.
It's supposed to be being done by the guy who directed Black Panther, or produced or directed or wrote something. One of the guys was in charge at the helm of Black Panther.
But could it be that Mulder and Scully might be African American?
Could be.
Could be.
And according to the internet, there has not been any confirmation that David and Gillian are going to be in it.
But they kind of hinted they would, though.
They hinted that they would. David said that he would absolutely be game for doing an X-Files reboot.
And Gillian's out of work now. Because education folded.
Gillian said that it would have to be like a good script and all this other kind of stuff. But she didn't say no.
But she's hanging out with Duchovny, so usually that means something, doesn't it?
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Celebrities don't see each other.
I guess
usually,
there was some,
unless there's something going on.
There was some murmurings because they went to David sat at Gillian's table at the Emmys, and I guess she had won for something, and she turned and kissed David
in front of David's girlfriend.
Before she hugged and kissed her date, who was her boyfriend.
Okay.
So everybody's like, wouldn't you hug and kiss your date before you hug and kiss David? But I'm saying, to be fair, she's probably known David for longer than she's known her boyfriend. Yeah. So
you think they've done it?
No.
I know William B. Davis wanted to do it. There's a very funny thing that he says when I ask him, because like in the X-Files, it's revealed that he impregnated her. And I asked him, how did the character do that? Was it like, in vitro fertilization with the injection? He gave a very funny answer. You could tell that he wants, because he had like a little.
And if you want to hear that answer, you will tune into CRAGG Live tomorrow,
how do they do that?
Saturday, March 1st at 5 p.m. Pacific. March 1st, 2025, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can tune in by going to craggradio.com, CRAGGRADIO.com. There's a bunch of tune-in methods over there. Yeah. Or you can get our free apps in the Roku and Apple app stores.
It'll be available on demand later, too.
But only for a week.
It's also
already on demand on our website.
It's on demand on our website right now. For those of you that don't want to wait till tomorrow, you can hear it tonight. But to those of you that has our CRAGG Roku app, we put the new show in there every week. It'll be in there for a week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. until it gets replaced the following week.
And there's nobody here yet.
There is nobody here.
Where the hell is everyone?
I told you they're in bed. It's past their time. All of our listeners have been with us long enough to where they're all old.
Yeah,
now.
we talked about that.
And
they've all grown
They've
old.
all. Tim is probably in bed. I can check Facebook again, but the last time I saw him,
We're talking to Clint again. I thought Clint Llewellyn would be here.
it's late where he is. Isn't he still in the
East Coast.
Carolinas?
Yep. I don't know. We probably ain't going to be on much longer. This is basically just a test. We'll
Yeah,
build
nobody even reacted on Facebook.
Yeah, so you don't even know we're on.
Nobody knows we're on because everybody's in bed.
So what else is going on? What about the CRAGG cable network? I'll let you handle that.
Oh, you did a good job with that last week.
If you want to know about it, listen to last week's show. Tune in last week's show. It's available on demand. It's in Roku tonight. It won't be.
I need to be getting. I'll be putting a video up on YouTube about it.
Yeah.
Soon.
It's better to watch the video. But it just, let me say this, the situation. Cord cutting is still a very popular thing because cable companies are reaming you out the a-hole, and it gets more expensive all the time. We have got a series of 3 series of apps, 3 apps apiece, 9 apps altogether. And by getting those 9 apps to where you can get 1, 2, 5, or all 9 of them, okay, you're going to get 24/7 live content to where you don't need cable. It's a one-time fee. It is not a monthly subscription. You do not have to pay monthly or weekly like you do cable. You pay for the app. You buy the app, then everything in there is free, okay? And it's updated 24/7, and it's live streams, and sometimes live streams go down, and then we replace it with another one because we maintain it. So it's just got everything. It's got pop culture, it's got fantasies, it's got uncut movies, it's got old TV shows,
retro TV. It's got
music videos,
drive-in type stuff, music videos, concerts, game shows.
It's their own little
everything.
Cable system, if you will. And each app has 10 channels.
And there's 9 apps.
There's 9 apps.
So
90 channels.
90 channels.
And it would be under $90 because they're under $10.
They're $9.99 per app.
$9.99
so
per app.
and you get 10 channels in an app. And we maintain it. We keep them updated. So
you can buy 1, 2, or all 9.
Yeah.
And it'd be under $90, and you pay once.
You don't have to pay monthly. You pay once.
And we can't guarantee a channel will always be there, but we can guarantee it'll be working because we're not like other people that let their apps die.
I hate that.
We're checking it all the time.
Can't stand it.
When I check it, I have to check 90 channels.
And he does.
I do.
Frequently. And then I have a list of like, okay, got to go find a new feed and update this one. Update that one.
And then the other thing that we could mention is the death of a Hollywood legend has now become a mystery.
Yeah, the Gene Hackman thing.
Gene Hackman, Oscar winner, The Poseidon Adventure, French Connection,
right?
Other movies.
So
has won an Oscar.
There's been quite a few passings this week that we're going to pay tribute to before the live show tomorrow.
The way we do that is to play like a sound bit or a song because, you know, the show was recorded years ago.
Yeah, like
so it's not part of the show. It's played before the show.
The crooner, the singer who did Sad Eyes.
Robert John's name of it?
Yeah.
Sad Eyes?
Yeah. Roberta Flack, which is a big one for me.
First time ever I saw your face killing me softly with this song.
I feel like there was a third one, and then Gene Hackman, too.
Can't remember who the other one was.
I can't either. I'll have to look it up.
It was some singer.
Oh, no. It was Michelle Trachtenberg.
Michelle Trachtenberg from... you actually worked with her.
I did. She was in Buffy, and I was an extra on Buffy, and I got to meet her and the guy that played Xander on the day that I was there. And Sarah Michelle Gellar was there that day, too, but she was the only one of the entire cast and crew that was not very nice.
But you said Michelle was nice.
Michelle was very nice. And the guy that played Xander was very nice.
That she was kind of in awe of Michelle Gellar. It was kind of like under her feet all the time, sitting by her.
Sitting by her, yeah, kind of like her little minion doing whatever.
You want to see something.
If you want to keep your job, because Sarah was very, at least the day I was there, she was very kind of
Michelle
ruling the roost.
A really good movie is called Euro Trip.
Yes.
And there's a scene where she accidentally makes out with her brother. It's funny as hell.
It is funny.
It's kind of
Yeah.
a USA Up All Night
And so
film.
the Michelle Trachtenberg passing was announced, I think, Wednesday or Thursday.
She wasn't even 40.
And it was that one was very
How old
weird
was she?
because
39?
she was 39.
39 and died.
She was supposed to turn 40 this year. And I guess she was found deceased in her apartment because she had just gone through a liver transplant. And she
literally replaced her liver?
Yes,
wow.
a liver transplant.
That's heavy.
And they she was having some complications post-surgery. And for whatever reason, she wasn't in the hospital. She was home. And because of these complications, she ended up passing away at home. It's bizarre, right? Because you would think that like the doctors would have said, no, hey, you need to be here, or
I don't
something
trust
not right.
Los Angeles, Southern California is the worst medical doctors in history. Oh, was it?
I think it was New York.
I don't trust Los Angeles.
I'm not positive. If I remember correctly, I think it was New York.
I haven't went back yet. I haven't been scanned to be checked to see if the cancer's come back in a year. So I'm still hoping I'm cancer free. I think I am. I'm still on oxygen. This is oxygen. Okay, I got a trach in my throat. I'm cancer free as far as I know. I beat cancer twice, but I haven't checked in a year. I've got to get back because it sneaks stuff on you. Okay, but I'm afraid to go. I don't trust because I got new doctors now. My doctor retired.
Yeah.
So I have to start all over. So I've been
but we
putting it off.
2 of your new doctors. The other ones were not going to.
And then I'm having major urinary tract problems, which is another story, which makes it hard to get there because you got to pee like every 20 minutes.
But so the Michelle Trachtenberg passing had been announced like a day or 2 before everybody heard about the Gene Hackman thing.
That's sad.
And we thought that was weird enough on its own.
Yeah.
But then.
Well, Gene was 99.
Yesterday, was he 99?
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Echo. How old was Gene Hackman?
Gene Hackman died on February 26, 2025 at the age of 95.
95.
So then yesterday I heard about the passing of Gene Hackman, which is even weirder than the situation with Michelle Trachtenberg.
He was married to a pianist that was in her 60s.
Yeah, but they had been married for decades, like a really long time, like since the 80s.
Like she's a classical pianist, very well known.
So Gene Hackman and his wife and their 2 dogs.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, 3 dogs, but 2 are now.
Gene Hackman and his wife and their 1 German Shepherd was found dead in their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And everybody would have, it was like, that's kind of weird. Like, okay, Gene Hackman was older, so maybe, 95, something could have happened. But his wife was in her 60s. And how did 2 people just, and their dog just pass away at the same exact time? So then, of course, everybody thought, well, it was probably carbon monoxide poisoning. Even Gene Hackman's daughter, one of his kids, his daughter had said that she suspected carbon monoxide poisoning.
They found her laying by a space heater.
So then, now more information is coming out, and it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder because the police at first said, we don't suspect any foul play. But now, 24 hours later, they're coming out and saying, well, this is kind of suspicious, so we are launching an investigation. Because the details that we know as of today, as of now, is that the wife was found in the bathroom, passed out. It looks like she had fallen on the floor.
There were pills on the counter.
She had a bottle of prescription medication that was strewn. There was pills all over the counter from the prescription medication. She looks like she fell. Her head was near a space heater on the floor, and that's where she passed away. In the same vicinity, close area, room proximity, there was a closet, and in that closet they had their 1 German Shepherd dog who was in a crate, a kennel.
Why would the kennel be in a closet?
I don't know. And the dog passed away in the kennel that was in the closet. Then in another part of the house that was closer to the kitchen, they call it a mud room, they found Gene deceased as well.
He'd come in from outside, assumingly because the door was ajar. He had sunglasses.
Yeah, and he looked like he had fallen as well. Oh, Tim's there. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Tim, feel free to speak up so we can have somebody
he
talk.
He says, hey, Terry and Tiffany.
Gene and his wife had laid there for 9 days.
But here's what's getting weird. It's because they've done an investigation so far. They did not see any signs of a gas leak in the house. So they then did do toxicology testing on Gene and his wife, and they have ruled out carbon monoxide poisoning. So it wasn't carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, the way that they were found is there was some maintenance workers who had noticed that the door to their house was ajar, but it didn't look like there had been any forced entry into the house. And they were the ones that called 911 because the door was ajar, but they supposedly hadn't been inside the house. In fact, I heard a piece of the 911 call where they had said, I don't know, I haven't been inside, blah, 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 blah. And then when the cops came out, it appears, and they know this based off of the last message, the last record that was recorded on Gene Hackman's pacemaker, because he had a pacemaker, that the last heartbeat or pulse that was recorded on the pacemaker was 9 days before they discovered him and his wife in the house.
So your pacemaker is like the black box on an airplane. It gives that history. But they tested the bodies, and there was no carbon monoxide.
No.
So they were killed. Nobody said it yet, but they had it.
Tim says, and Tim, if you wonder, I have a monitor over there, and I have a monitor over here, and I'm trying to remember to look at the camera, but that's why I'm kind of looking all over.
The monitor over here is how big?
89 inches.
And the one over there is
55.
Yeah, so we're looking back.
But Tim says,
we're using our new wireless webcam, Tim.
Tim says, I heard Gene Hackman's wife's body was found mummified.
Yes.
Yeah, so they had been
wow.
they had been deceased in the house for 9 days. And so they had said that parts of her body, like her farthest extremities, like her hands and her feet, had started to self-mummify because she had been, and it's Santa Fe, it's hot, and had been in the house deceased for almost 2 weeks.
Wherever Gene went, I hope we didn't go where Shelley Winters is, because she hated him. She did a Poseidon adventure with him and told one of the bloggers that we watch who knew Shelley Winters that she tried to drown Gene when they were doing their scene in like water tank. She hated Gene.
You know, I love Shelley, classic actress.
Shelley Winters. I miss her.
But a little eccentric.
A little crazy.
A little eccentric.
She came out on Johnny Carson and threw that thing of water, a glass of water in his one actor's face. Not Herbert Long. It was a guy who was in the Hammer Werewolf movie. I forget his name. But anyway.
Yeah.
And she was a little crazy.
So, Tim, do we sound okay?
Yeah. How's it look? How's it sound?
Tim's our tester.
He's our tech guy.
He's our tester, techie guy.
Yeah. We haven't talked to Pickle in years. I wonder if he's okay.
I don't know. Last time we talked to him was way before COVID.
Pickle was spun in the fact that he was an old guy, and he listened, and he'd be constantly taking his computer apart, trying to fix it, wind up in a bag.
Sometimes most.
I did that once in the early days. I tried to do something, the computer wound up.
Most times it wasn't even the computer; it was user error. And bless his heart, he redid the computer. I don't know how many times. I tried to change a ribbon in a typewriter one time, and it wound up in a bag. Sometimes I kind of wanted to mess with Pickle because I know he listened to the station, so I'd want to just like pause the stream for like 30 seconds because if he heard silence, he assumed his computer wasn't working, and he would rip it apart and redo it. Wanted the song titles to show up, and he was very anal about everything, and he was always honest about something didn't work or whatever. It's like, we can't control everything, you know. We try our best to keep it. And then we placated him because we asked him to start doing weekly movie reviews. Yeah. And that gave him purpose, and he loved that. I'll tell you, Tim says it sounds all right. Good. We pay a lot of money to Sirius XM Radio. Was it like $10 a month or something like that? Yeah, and only because I complained to them that I wanted it cheaper. See, so what you do is
You can barter.
you call and you tell them you're going to cancel. And in order to keep you, they'll give you whatever promo they have at the time. But they say, oh, it's only for a year. And then it goes back to full price. And you say, okay. And then you mark it in your calendar. Let it go to full price for 1 month. And then go back and say, no, it's too expensive. I'm going to cancel. And they'll give you another year
We
promo.
had 2 subscriptions.
I've done it like 3 times.
We had 2 vehicles.
Yeah.
2 subscriptions. We're down to 1. But what I was trying to get to is their stations go down all the time. And if you compare them to CRAGG, here we are, just us here, homegrown studio, internet radio pioneers, haven't had a broadcast history, been in real radio, been in radio for 49 years, going on 50 years next year. Our stations are like 99% up all the time. They don't go down. XM radio, corporate America, their stations are down all the time.
We will
like a sleep channel.
We will listen to the sleep channel when we go to bed because
you're
supposed to sleep to it. It's supposed to be relaxing music. It sounds that helps you sleep, and it'll go off in the middle of the night. And
What's the point of a sleep channel that goes down?
And it's not like we sleep for like 16 hours. Like we're sleeping like anywhere from like 4 to 6, 4 to 7 hours, and it doesn't stay up for even that. So I'm like, what's the point?
You know what they said? If you don't sleep 7 to 9 hours a day,
you'll die.
There'll be a 29% more chance you're going to die earlier. We're fucked, okay? We're screwed.
I was listening to Tim. Okay, good.
Cancer survivor, and I don't sleep enough.
And you don't exercise.
No.
Because I was listening to that newscast, and it said they had 2 stories on back to back, and they said that if you don't get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, that you have a 29% chance of dying earlier. And then right after that, they said that if you are not active and you live a sedentary lifestyle, which means that you spend a lot of time sitting or laying around and not getting up and being active, that you also decrease your life expectancy. And I was sitting there thinking, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Like, screwed.
See, I got to mention this because Tim's here. Tim may not know this, as I was never there live. We've watched quite a few of your chats, your YouTube chats.
His chill stream.
Your chill stream, and enjoyed it because of one special person that had an obsession with Hitler.
We enjoyed you too, Tim.
He was this one guy.
That other guy
was driving Tim
I don't
crazy
know what his name was.
Because he had an obsession with Hitler. And Tim couldn't take it anymore and finally got all frustrated. He's like, what is your obsession with Hitler? We fell off the floor. We fell on the floor laughing.
The thing is, Tim, that we've known you for so long.
You're very patient and you're a very well-mannered, nice guy.
We've known Tim for what, like 15 years?
Takes a lot to piss Tim off.
A long time. We've known Tim for a long time.
And in person, too.
Even when we
shared a room with him.
Shock It To Me was like, what, 2008?
Yeah.
So, we're talking some time here. And so we can tell when you're getting frustrated. And you were very patient, but we could tell when you got very frustrated with him. And we were like, oh.
Because this guy I'm not naming names, he would take over the chat. And he'd bring out, he's like, so do you want to know who my favorite actor is in this one movie that nobody's seen? And everybody else is like, yeah, sure. I really don't want to ask you, but okay.
Or we don't really want to, but we have a feeling you're going to tell us anyway. And then you just go off.
And I'm not sure, like, Tim hasn't done one in a while. Tim, is it because of that crazy guy? Because guy was too much.
Tim said his name in the chat. Should I say his name?
Go ahead.
Tim said that was the monkey.
He certainly was.
The monkey.
If that guy shows up here, he's banned because that guy. You know who he reminded me of? Who did he remind me of? We had a guy like that. Thought he was a clown.
His name? Rizzo?
Rizzo the clown.
Rizzo the clown.
He reminded me of Rizzo the clown.
He reminded us of him. And what was funny is he was so. Like, it was amusing to us because we weren't having to deal with it.
And you want to talk about the scandal with the guy that runs Elmo with the kitty porn thing. And Tim didn't want to talk about it, which I don't blame him. He was
well, especially on YouTube. Like, you don't want to get a strike, right? So it was funny to us because he was not in our live chat and we weren't having to deal with him. But I know it wasn't funny for you, Tim, and I'm sorry for that.
Well,
but,
Tim knows we've had people that we've had trouble.
But it was so funny to us that there was things that he would say that were so like nonsensical and ridiculous that like it became like stuff that Terry and I would joke about around the house. Like when one of us would say something and the other would be like, I was already done. Well, that's fine because I was already done.
Because Tim would try to stop it and he'd go, I was done. That's okay because I was done.
Yeah.
And this guy, I don't know.
So Tim says he can see us just fine.
Good.
And he says, I don't know if I should read that. Well, I guess he put it in public chat so I can read it.
Yeah.
He
says people see the video.
He pissed off the rest of my friends.
Yeah, I think that's why you don't do it.
But
right?
Unfortunately, I can't talk to most of those people anymore.
Okay.
So.
Why?
I don't know. That's why that was the part that I was like, I don't know.
Anyway, I enjoyed your chat, especially when you guys were talking about stuff, and then this dude kept interrupting, and it got to be a comedy show.
You know.
But he kind of killed your chat. He really did.
We want to. This is kind of like our first test live stream on YouTube.
See, Tim was too nice to ban him. Tim should have banned him.
He should have banned him. Yeah. This is the first time we've done YouTube live.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to do this more
and not get banned.
And not get banned.
And I got a big fucking.
I'm gonna try to announce it in advance if we can, so that people know to show up.
Because when we used to go on Facebook Live, we'd always get people talking.
Yeah, and we want to do like a chat,
like Cy Bob and
and so
Go Steve
we're gonna try to do this more, but this is just our first kind of test one. We've been on for like an hour or so, and just trying things out, but you know, eventually
with our new wireless webcam.
Eventually, we could occasionally have if we did it through Zoom and streamed it to YouTube Live, which I can do through a piece of software I have. We could have Tim come on sometime, and we could talk to him on camera.
Yeah, like he did with his chat, where you get
without having
like the
to
old
use
Stickum.
Yeah,
like Stickum. Because Stickums fucked up and won't let me in. Remember old fan? Yeah.
Oh, Richard Gregg is in there.
Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Hey, Richard, how are you doing?
Nice to know somebody's not in bed. We didn't come on to almost 10 o'clock at night.
Tim says we had a falling out sometime after that. I got pissed at some British YouTube content creators after that.
Oh. Why? Were they posting too much about the Queen? And you'd rather see Queen with Freddie Mercury instead they were doing duck.
I don't think I've ever fought with anybody in the UK.
How do you fight with people from
They're very polite.
Aren't they very polite? They don't really fight.
It's kind of like fighting with the Canadians.
Yeah,
like
the Canadians are British in a way.
They're very nice.
They're like fake British people.
Like even William B. Davis, who's going to be our guest on CRAGG Live tomorrow, because we're doing a classic CRAGG Live. It's not a new interview. It's a classic CRAGG Live. But even because he's Canadian. And he was very nice.
Now, Richard,
I basically called him an extra, and he didn't get mad at me.
Richard Lane Gregg, right?
Yes.
I like it. 3 names. That's cool.
Richard Lane Gregg. Not to be confused with Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah. When you have 3 names and you use it makes you sound regal. I like that.
Terry Lee Dufault.
I don't use the Lee. But, yeah.
Tiffany May Dufault.
I was named after my dad's boss.
Anytime anybody said Tiffany May, that means I was in trouble.
I mean, I'm sure my dad was my dad, but I was named after my dad's boss. What does that mean?
What did your mom not tell you?
Yeah, what did my mom not tell me? I don't know. You were named after a checkout girl at a store. Her name was Tiffany. She was the cashier at Kmart.
Why didn't you just name me after Grandma?
You were going to be named Natasha.
Natasha or Nastasia?
Nastasia, like Nastasia Kinski.
I would
have liked Natasha, like Boris and Natasha.
I would have preferred that.
Yeah. Instead, your name Tiffany, and come to find out that's what they call every airhead.
Tiffany's an airhead.
In the valley.
Yeah. Tim says these people were not proper Brits. These dudes were all foul-mouthed weirdos, and they started too much drama after a point.
Yeah, now, they didn't get the point. It was called Chill Stream. You weren't supposed to be.
See, Tim, that's why. See, we're kind of like doing. I don't know, Richard. I don't know if you remember or if you were involved in some of our chats before, but we've had like different incarnations of chats. Yeah. We used to, when we did the original chat.
I gotta lean back for a second. My back.
Tim will remember this. When we did the original chats after CRAGG Live, we had we had Stickum, and then we had the CRAGG Club chat,
Right.
to where only people that were CRAGG Club members could get into them. And those
We
were
had
very...
to, we got people wearing masks that came in and caused trouble.
Yeah, those were very, very popular. We had a full house, full room.
Yeah.
And then...
Like 60, 70 people.
We ended up ending those because it's exactly what you said, Tim.
It's nothing but drama.
It gets to be too much drama. Everybody's in it not because they're wanting to hang out or whatever, but because they're wanting attention, or they're wanting to start drama, or they're wanting to troll people, or whatever the case may be. So that's actually why we shut the chats down before. And then when we did Facebook Live, people could kind of chat on there, but it's not the same. It was just basically posting a comment on the video. It's not like a live IRC chat. So this, with doing YouTube Live, is kind of the first time. And I'm sorry.
It's separate from the radio.
I'm sorry, guys, that the chat is on slow mode. I won't put it on slow mode next time.
Well, when you only got 2 people, you don't need to have it on slow mode.
I thought I was going to be too blonde to be able to read it, but
so for those that are seeing the video, because it's going to be on YouTube, we covered the CRAGG cable network thing. We covered our apps. We covered the radio show tomorrow with William B. Davies of the X-Files, Smoky Man. What is Patreon?
Patreon.
Tim is a member.
Tim is a member.
He's our first member.
He is
our founding member.
Our founding member. Patreon.
He is number 1.
I think most people know what Patreon is.
Yeah.
But we do have a Patreon if you want to support us and all the stuff we do with all of our networks, which is Cult Radio A Go-Go, 5 radio stations, Cult Radio A Go-Go, Horror and Halloween Radio, Christmas at the Drive-In, As Heard on TV, and OTR, Old Timer Radio. Right. But also we have 2, we call them TV networks, which is Cult TV A Go-Go and The Last Drive-In.
On the Roku.
On the Roku.
Exclusively on the
Roku, except it is available on Patreon as well. So
people have been complaining, I want to watch it on a browser.
Right.
Because it started on a browser.
It started on a browser.
You can now watch it on a browser in addition to it.
For a very long time, people were like, I want to be able to watch it on a browser. And we didn't have the ability to do that. It was only on the Roku. But then now we have Patreon. So you can
watch it on a browser.
You can watch it on a browser.
All of our movies and TV shows.
Anywhere that you can log in on a browser, whether it's on your phone, on a tablet, on a streaming box, like
smart TV,
an Xbox, anything like that.
It's like our LG TV has a browser.
Yeah.
And also on the Amazon Fire TV has a browser.
Yeah.
You can watch and listen.
Yeah. So there's three levels. You can pledge at, I think it's.
Well, what does our Roku apps cost?
$1.99 a month.
For Cult TV A Go-Go, and then the other network is The Last Drive-In.
Yeah.
Which we had the name before Joe Bob Briggs stole.
Yeah, which I have proof of.
We have proof of the documentation.
We had created that for the Movie and Music Network at the time.
I could sue, but I won't because he was a friend.
Right.
It's not for him.
So you can get Cult TV
that
and
name is copyrighted.
The Last Drive-In over on the Roku. Each of them are $1.99 a month. And over there you get 10 reels of content that's swapped out every Wednesday.
You get more on Patreon than you do on the Roku.
Right. But on Patreon, if you join our Patreon at the $5 a month level, you get everything for Cult TV, everything from The Last Drive-In, and 5 extra bonus reels, and early access to CRAGG Lives that we do, and early access to the YouTube videos that I put up. And, I just thought about the fact that now that we have this nifty new webcam, we could do some lives in Patreon, too.
Yes, you can. And we'll try to incorporate it where we can see Tim and, other people that wants to come on. That's why we were asking you, Tim, about the software you used, which, like you said, was, they try to charge.
Yeah.
We don't want to get into that. I got to talk about my shirt. Look at my shirt. Can you see it?
Not really.
Not really?
Hold on.
Move the camera. Go ahead. Just don't touch the lens.
Sit up. There we go. American International Pictures.
I have shirts for all the logos of Roger Corman's
Mhm.
different incarnations. I have American International Pictures. I have Dan Curtis Productions. What else do I have? I got to get Hammer
You have
and Amicus.
you have Concord, which is Roger Corman.
Yeah.
You have AIP. You have Dan Curtis. You need Hammer and Amicus
And Universal.
and Universal. Well, we have some Universal.
But I've got like, what, 2 different ones of AIP?
2 different ones of AIP.
They had 2 logos.
2 different ones of Concord, too.
Yeah.
I think. Not sure.
Yeah,
But
whatever
I
you
think
cut
you
is
can remember.
sure, you're yawning.
I'm sorry.
You got up at like 8:30.
Yeah.
No, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock in the morning. Been working over at the sweatshop.
Which is in the corner.
In the corner.
My office in the corner.
I say sweatshop. She doesn't sweat. She's like the ice queen. You touch her and you will get frostbite.
I'm not cold right now.
It's a good thing you don't have a boyfriend or husband because he would be found dead like that actor was.
Don't
Only he'd be
say
frozen
that. That's
instead of
horrible.
mumbo.
That's
I don't mean to make light of it. I really
Yeah.
don't.
So-
We're very sentimental about celebrity death. That's a terrible thing.
That's awful.
Gene Hackman,
It's awful.
God bless him.
Yeah.
So is there anything else to talk about right now?
don't
That's
think
it.
so.
We had Ho Ho the cat on.
We had Ho Ho on.
Where's Hermie?
Hermie is asleep under the heated blanket.
Will he come? You call him?
I don't know. Hermie!
Come here, Hermie.
Come here, Hermie! Come here!
Let's see, would you run on a material?
Hermie, you want a treat? You want a treat?
Is he up?
He's getting there. He thinks I have a treat. I feel bad. I'm lying to him. Hermie, come here.
Come here.
Come here, Herm. Come here, Hermie.
And Fritz is doing well, too.
Yeah, he
has
I think
occasional
he's
pain.
upstairs.
Once in a while.
Come here, Hermie. Hermie. What is this? He'll do anything for food.
Yeah.
If he thinks there's food involved.
He eats he would eat till he dies if he could. He just eats everything.
Tim says, is there one for New World Pictures, Roger Corman's old company from the 1970s? Yes.
I have
So
all.
he has New World Pictures and he has Concord.
Very meticulous. I can get those for you, Tim. Just, contact me. I can get them for you, Tim. So if you want any of the logos of all the old studios, whatever, I can get you a shirt. Just anybody that's on YouTube, just send me an email. Can I say it? Cult Radio,
Yeah.
CULTRADIO @gmail.com. Email me here, CULTRADIO, one word, @gmail.com.
And
I like my Dan Curtis production.
yeah. So we talked about the passing.
Yeah.
We talked about
Patreon, the CRAGG
the CRAGG TV Network.
Tomorrow's show with
We
William
talked
B.
about
Davis.
tomorrow's show, which is a classic CRAGG with William B. Davis.
Something
I
happened that was funny.
complained to everybody about not following us on TikTok.
You got to follow us on TikTok and follow us on YouTube. To those of you
And
that
hit
are
the
seeing us now,
notification button
hit the
because
notification and the follow.
I'm going to try to plan when we will be live again, and I'm going to try to let you know in advance. But
I wanted to
chances
mention
are we may not. So
It was funny. Tell them about the time we had the one classic CRAGG. We were giving away the contest and somebody got confused.
yeah, we had re-aired our show with Jimmy Hawkins from It's a Wonderful Life. He played Tommy? Yeah, Tommy Bailey.
You take it. Oh, you don't want to get up. I say, well, you could try to show the poster giveaway. Because we got one first. So just be careful of the camera. See it?
No, I'm not there yet. Hold on.
It's a reproduction, art print
There it
reproduction of It's a Wonderful Life. And it's very authentic and it's on heavy cardstock. And they cost almost $100 through this one store that sponsored the show. And we gave one away. We gave a question. And you remember what the question was?
The question was, there was 2 questions.
Yeah.
But the big one was, what did George Bailey get annoyed with that kept breaking in the house, that kept coming off?
And we had a winner, and come to find out, it was that kid you see in
and the other question was, what is Clarence's full name?
Yeah.
Clarence Oddbody.
We had a winner, and it was somebody that we didn't recognize. And we found out when we sent it to him that he was on tour with Madonna, and was in the Madonna videos where she's in the videos with the little boy. He was the little boy who was grown up.
Yeah.
And worked with Madonna and was in several of her videos.
And went on tour
like
with
the
her.
Who's That
Yeah.
Girl video and a few others. Went on tour with her and got to kiss her and give her, a tongue and everything.
I don't
And he
know
was
if
like
he gave
12.
her tongue when he was
He was
12.
like 12.
But Tim.
But he won the poster.
That is, yeah, he won the poster. But when we played the rerun, which is what you were getting at, we played the rerun like December for Christmas, and one of our current day listeners, contacted us to enter the contest. And when I was like, "This is a classic CRAGG Live," that poster was given away like 6 years ago. He's like, "Son of a."
He thought we were live. So I guess it could be confusing.
Tim, that's not true, by the way. So he said TikTok won't let you because you don't have a mobile phone. That's not true. You can go to TikTok.com on the website.
Yeah, they have a website. They're on a browser.
And you can sign up for an account.
I think that's new. I don't think it used to be on the browser.
It used to not. No, it used to only. I know that for a fact because it used to only be if you had a phone, and I know that because I had played around with TikTok. And
I know Tim doesn't have a phone. I heard him talk about that on his chat.
I had played around with TikTok for my job, my day job. And at the time, you had to do it on a phone. Like, you could not upload anything. You couldn't see anything. You couldn't do anything. But now, you can actually, I upload stuff from a browser to our TikTok account, like, all the time.
Oh, and by the way, Tim, talking about...
Go to TikTok.com, you can sign up for an account.
When you were explaining about why you don't want a phone, and that guy was messaging you, trying to get you to install that messenger. He was trying to get your information to take money from you.
If somebody, says, what's your WhatsApp, you don't want to get WhatsApp. They're wanting to figure out how to get money from you.
It would have come to a conversation. What's your bank account?
Yeah, they're either trying to get information so that they can take money, or they're going to try to talk you into giving them money.
It was not a friend. It was not somebody that liked you. It was somebody trying to take your money. So you got to watch her. There's too many people out there. Do not click on links you get in an email, and do not install apps and talk to strangers, because we had that happen to us.
You can go to TikTok.com.
Yes.
Sign up for an account on a browser, and then look up Cult Radio and follow us on TikTok. Or click on one of the videos that I posted on Facebook. It'll take you right to our profile.
And you can now get TikTok. It's back in the store because it got banned by our stupid government with their stupid censorship. Oh, we actually got somebody that posted was giving us shit because we were on TikTok, because they were like one of these conspiracy people that thinks that we're in with China.
Tim, if you want a TikTok account, I will sign up for one for you and send you your login information.
Yeah.
He says that he tried to sign up on a browser, and they asked him to scan something with a phone. I don't remember doing that when I signed up for one, but
let us know, Kim, if you want us to sign you up for one.
I can sign you up for one, and I'll send you the login and password, and I will forget what your login and password is. I will never log into your account. Plus, once you get into it, I think you can change your password.
And believe it or not, like we said, you might have missed this. You go back and see
But I will send it to you with us already followed.
Right. if you go back and see this video, because we've been on for like an hour, when you do your videos, okay, if you start doing videos on TikTok, okay, and you can do it with a webcam on a computer. You don't need a phone. You will get much more people seeing your video than you get on YouTube. Yeah. They get far more traffic on TikTok.
It was interesting because it's interesting. It's been a fun experiment for me. I've been having fun with it because I will take the same video and I will put it, like, for example, the video that I put up of
Max Vera.
No, President Trump.
President Trump.
Singing Green Acres.
President Trump singing Green Acres.
Yeah. So I put that up on all of our platforms. I put it up on Facebook. I put it up on Instagram. I put it up on Twitter. And I put it up on TikTok. Twitter, X, got like nobody. Okay. Facebook was probably second. Instagram was probably third. Or no. Yeah. But TikTok was like through the roof. So, for example, the exact same video, it wasn't even me or anything live. It was just a video of Trump singing Green Acres. It got like 65 views on Facebook. Over on TikTok, it got over 5,500 views.
He was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. He sang the theme
No,
song.
it was at the Emmys.
No, it was the Ellen.
Ellen was hosting.
Oh, she was hosting the Emmys. I know she introduced him.
The video
He
that
was
I
wearing
put up.
coveralls. It was crazy.
The video that
We
I
got
put
over
up.
5,000 views, huh?
Yeah, the video that I put up like a week ago about the passing of Miss Yvonne from Pee-wee's Playhouse, over almost 9,000 views. But like I said at the start of this live stream, the thing that's frustrating about TikTok is that you'll get a butt ton of views, but it's really hard to get followers. And you have to get followers in order to be able to make money off of ads, like AdSense.
You reminded, who was that?
Hermie's trying to eat his brother.
Yeah, Hermie likes to chew on his brother, Ho-Ho. He bites his neck. And it's like a cat thing, and he loves him.
He does. But
He kisses him, sleeps with him.
Yeah.
He'll bite him. We
But
can't stop him.
What I found, I guess this is a rant
What's
that I
Tabasco out of
I guess this is a rant I could say for another time, but I'm finding that as time goes on, especially on different platforms, and it's very apparent with TikTok, because TikTok's demographic is younger.
Right.
Even when you're doing Google searches for stuff, or you're looking up things, or you're looking for topics on TikTok, or to an extent YouTube, people are forgetting more and more about the past. So it's like...
See, that's Ho-Ho complaining
Hermie.
he's being bit by Hermie.
Hermie, leave him alone.
Stop it.
Even when I use like ChatGPT to like ask it questions or AI, like it'll give me information from like the 90s and after. And I'll have to go back and tell it, no, I want information from the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, you know, past, because it's like all of a sudden pop culture has ceased to exist before the 90s.
Yep.
And it's becoming like more and more like a wasteland where like it's like people don't even remember that there was anything before the 1990s, and that there's no history, there's no legacy, there's no education about it. And you know, even people on like TikTok, you know, it's because it's that younger demographic. But I put up something about Miss Yvonne from Pee-wee's Playhouse, and it got like over 8,000 views. But I put up a video about Bela Lugosi, and it got like 21. And it's because people don't know who he is anymore. No. And it's like anything that's after a certain decade, it's like it didn't exist. It's like it turned into dust. And it's very frustrating.
Our radio networks and our TV networks are very important.
And it's not just like I would have understood.
And Go See Show.
I would have understood if it was just TikTok or just a certain platform. But even when you're using like ChatGPT or Google, and you ask it like, you know, because I'm doing this day in pop culture history, and I'll ask it like, was there anything important that happened on this day in pop culture history? Or tell me things that happened in pop culture history on this day. And it'll only go back to like the 90s. And I'm like, there was stuff that happened before the 90s. Like,
you said there was certain things on TikTok in pop culture history that does transcend to the new generation.
There is. It has to be very
selective.
Very, very selective. The Beatles transcended.
Because everybody knows.
Everybody knows the Beatles. Because, and you made a good point. You're like, well, because even though the Beatles were in the 60s, the Beatles are something that the youth not only hears on oldies radio stations if they're listening to it, but it's something that they probably heard from their parents or their grandparents.
Probably hear more than Elvis.
Do you think? I think Elvis would transcend too.
I think there's probably more Beatles fans there is.
I mean, especially with
with
the Elvis movie, I think Elvis will transcend too.
Yeah,
the Lone Ranger transcended.
Yeah.
People know that. But again, Johnny Depp movie. So, you know, who knows what they thought.
I wanted to mention, before I forget, you mentioned Miss Yvonne. We were so lucky to see her in person.
Yeah.
At the Pee-wee Revival.
The Pee-wee show at the LA Live.
Everybody was there, including John Paragon, who played Jambi and Pee-wee. Paul Rubens and Miss Yvonne was there. Her actress name escapes me right now. But if you have Max, I know Tim used to, I don't know if he has it. If you have Max, if not, get a trial. Before he died.
Not yet.
Not yet. Before he died. What?
No, don't get it yet.
Okay.
Wait.
Paul
Yeah.
Rubens, who has been very secretive about his life, in the fact of his sexuality and so on, because he was gay. He did have a boyfriend. Turned around and revealed everything about his life, about how he became Pee-wee, and about a fight that he had with some of the people in his movies, such as the guy from SNL, the Captain Carl.
Oh, Phil Hartman.
He had a fight with Phil Hartman. He had a fight with Tim Burton because he got jealous of them, that they got all the attention he had thought in his head. And he regretted having severed ties with them. And the fact about his sexuality will all be revealed in a documentary. The guy shot like how many hours?
He said he shot like something like 36 hours of interviews with
But it's
him.
going to be narrowed down to 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
On Max, a little mini series on Paul Rubens, going to be the definitive Paul Rubens, Paul on camera for the first time. Because he knew he was
COVID.
dying, so he wanted to bring everything out about his life.
Yeah. So that is supposed to, it's actually at like Sundance right now, and it's supposed to be coming out later this year. There's a lot of stuff that's happening this year as far as releases. That's coming out. Upload, which we talked about, is coming out in the fall. Doctor Who is returning for season 2 with Ncuti Gatwa. He's going to be coming back
I heard
in
Sci-fi,
April.
can't wait.
He's going to be coming back in April. The X-Files might be coming back. But
yeah, you'll hear about that at the beginning of this video.
We're kind of, they've said it's happening. They just don't know when or who or whatever. But so.
I still can't believe that Paul Rubens is gone. And Miss Yvonne is gone, and Jamie is gone. It's like that show has a curse on it.
King of Cartoons is gone.
King of Cartoons, Blackula, we had his son on the show.
Really is
son
like,
of Blackula is wanting to come back on.
Yeah, Will.
He was nervous.
He was
nervous. Was cool, but he was nervous. He did a lot of giggling.
The only one.
He didn't come off like he would be the son of William Marshall at all.
The only one that I can recall from Pee-wee's Playhouse that wasn't like a voice actor, that was actually like a physical actor that's still with us is Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
I think everybody else is gone.
Thank you. Phil Hartman's gone.
Phil Hartman's
gone.
Miss Yvonne's
John
gone.
Paragon.
King of Cartoons is gone.
Yep.
John Paragon's gone. Paul's gone.
Yep.
It's sad. And, this doesn't help my plight for how, history and pop culture is being forgotten, because now we're getting to the point where even stuff from my era, Pee-wee's Playhouse was my childhood, that's now starting to slip away.
I won't go into the controversy. I'm not going to mention it at all. Please don't let me. But at one point, the interviewer brought up something that Paul didn't want to talk about, and Paul said, I quit. Documentary's done. He halted it, stopped it, no more. And then at the last minute, I think it was because he found out he was dying, he gave a comment and sent an audio message, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
Very controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll want to check this out. It'll be on Max.
Yep.
Get a free trial if you have
Ken
to.
said other releases, The Keep from 1983 is finally getting a 4K release.
Very good. Yeah.
On Blu-ray,
Tim,
coming out from Vinegar Syndrome.
What was the last
But it's the theatrical cut of The Keep.
The Keep.
From 1983.
Very good.
So.
Vinegar Syndrome. They're good people. Hermie's trying to eat his brother. Why don't we get Hermie on camera? God.
He won't come here.
I'm about ready to wrap this up. What about
me
you?
too.
My back is hurting.
Come here.
I'm sitting on the side of my bed and I have no support.
Come here. You want to come here?
Yeah, you want your big YouTube debut?
Hermie. Look at the monster under the blanket.
For those of you that are asking, this is oxygen because I have to breathe, I'm like Dr. Fives.
I
I'm
got
going to
it.
have a plug-in to talk here. I have a thing because I have a trach in my throat.
Here we go.
There he is. Look, he's like the Lone Ranger. He has a mask.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Is that a good shot?
Look at the TV.
His breeder had a solid black one. But these cats are expensive.
Hermie was a gift.
They're like $3,000.
No. He was...
2,000.
Ho-Ho was our COVID baby, which I think is why he's so sensitive.
Yeah.
And we used our California stimulus
check.
payment
The Trump sent
to get Ho-Ho. He was I think he was 1,800 or 2,000.
Yeah.
And Hermie was a gift.
So I encourage you
Because
guys.
Hermie and Ho Ho have the same dad,
Yes.
but they have different moms.
If you want to, Clint Llewellyn, who we have friended again, talking again, letting bygones be bygones, because we're not going to get into it over politics, okay, is back on Facebook. He got thrown off or quit or something.
Oh.
He got Facebook jail a lot. He has a new account. He's trying to get his people back. So find him and
now,
follow him.
These releases, I want. Tim says that both Las Vegas Hillbillies and Hillbillies in a Haunted House are out on Blu-ray now.
Because for a while you could only get them through, what is it, Pearl and Husky?
Yeah.
The country singer?
Yeah.
Yeah, one's got Mamie Van Dorn in it.
Yes.
Hillbillies in a
Haunted
Vegas.
House.
No, the Vegas one.
Is this the Vegas one?
Las
Vegas, it is the Vegas. She plays the showgirl.
Yeah. So for a while you could only get him through Pearl and Husky, and he's gone now. So I guess they're getting an official release.
Oh yeah, Tim. This is Hermie. Tim made me realize Hermie's never been on camera before.
Oh, okay.
Because we adopted Hermie after Terry was sick.
We're not having a Titanic thing. I'm just leaning back.
So Ho Ho we hadn't had in the studio. Fritz has been in the studio. Hermie's never been in the studio. So this is Hermie's television debut.
Now Ho Ho's got peach fuzz. This guy, the skin is totally rubber.
Rubber. And he shakes. He's shaking right now.
He's a special kind of sphinx.
He's a bambino.
They call it a bambino because they're the smallest breed.
Look at these little arms.
Yeah.
He's getting
They have stubby legs. So it's kind of like when they walk, they're long. They got stubby legs. They're like a dachshund.
He will do anything for food, though.
But he has an appetite you would not, if he went to a buffet, everything.
He looks grumpy.
He loves food and food.
All right, I'll let you go, bud.
Okay, remind people about tomorrow. What do they need to listen to?
Tomorrow, we will be airing a classic CRAGG live. It'll be our show from, I think it's 2016, 2017. I don't know. I didn't look up the date.
I want to get off because surprise, I'd like to wash my hair.
Okay. What about my hair?
Well, that's up to you.
Not tonight. I gotta make food.
You gotta make chili.
I'm hungry.
Does Hermie eat chili?
Hermie eats everything.
Yeah, because he had a Mexican breeder.
Hermie eats everything.
He's they're really from Canada.
You know what Hermie does eat that he shouldn't because it doesn't agree with him?
What?
I looked away the other day and he was licking the remnants of the enchilada sauce off my plate, and I was like,
I had a bowl of nacho cheese one day. He just shoved his head.
He had just had a bath.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with sphinxes. You have to give them a bath quite frequently.
So tomorrow, a classic CRAGG Live.
And he had just had a bath and he shoved his
face
in the
Radio
nacho
Network.
cheese. You can't start the story and not finish it.
Okay, finish it.
So he had just had a bath and he was spick and span clean. And then I served dinner, which happened to come with nachos. Yeah. And I walk in here and you couldn't see. And he is on the side of your dinner table, sticking his face straight in the bowl of cheese. And I pulled him out, and it was just cheese everywhere. I was like, okay, not only did you do this, and you're going to get the poops now, but also you just had a bath.
For those of you that don't know, cancer survivor twice. I'm on oxygen. And if that's not enough, okay, I'm low-sighted. I'm like 95% blind because I need a cataract operation. Then I'll be able to see. But if I watch TV, I can't make everything out. She has to narrate everything, tell me what's going on because everything's blurry.
So tomorrow,
what's on tomorrow?
Tomorrow we are running a classic CRAGG Live.
Back when I was young and healthy.
It's going to be our,
before the
I think it's like 2016, 2017 show where our guest was William B. Davis from The X-Files, the smoking man from The X-Files. And Upload, although the interview was done before Upload, so we wouldn't be talking about Upload, but we will be talking about the X-Files, which it is timely and in the news now because they might be doing an X-Files reboot. See the start of this video once it's archived to have us tell you about that.
And in the show, we let him know that the current X-Files he was on was the Fox revival, was canceled, and they didn't tell him. He didn't know. He learned it live on the air. Now we should tell him they're coming back.
I hope your mom's okay, Tim.
There's something wrong?
He says, I found out my mother had a stroke recently.
Oh, God.
Nothing too bad, just something happened to one of her hands. But she and the hand are fine now. So
Give her our love.
yeah, please tell her we hope she feels better.
Take it easy.
Strokes and heart attacks
are not good.
Neither one of them. Yeah.
Because we still can't get over the fact that we lost Neural through a heart attack, through a VFib.
Yeah.
And I have a VFib too.
AFib.
I have heart AFib. Mine's a VFib. But, you know, I got to be careful too because I still have issues.
Yeah.
But strokes and heart attacks and cancer are the three things that are scary as shit.
So listen to CRAGG Live tomorrow. You can tune in by going to craggradio.com, CRAGGRADIO.com.
Or call radioagogo.com. For those of you who like to type more. And who does?
Yeah, Tim, Neural was too young to die. But she had
She's my age.
She had a bad heart. I mean, anybody can have an AFib. So an AFib doesn't mean that like you're old or your heart is old. All it means is that your heart has an irregular heartbeat. A lot of people are born with AFibs, and it just means that basically your heart isn't rhythmic when it pumps or when it beats, which you wouldn't think matters, but it can cause an issue with circulation or blood clots and things like that.
If you remember, she was in the show in the chat room Saturday, and then Sunday went by. She went to work on Monday, and that's when she passed away at work.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's hard to believe because it wasn't that long after Videoscope editor Joe Kane died. And then some other people I knew died. A guy named Ted Newsom and a few others. It was just one after another. It was all connected with us in some way or another.
Yeah.
But she's greatly missed. And go see
I think
Tate
about
and
her
I
every day. I still have the last message when we were talking on Facebook Messenger. I leave it in my inbox.
She always gave financial contributions.
Always.
To the station. Always.
All right, so we're going to wrap up, but CRAGG Live will be on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific.
These
and then,
video chats will come up whenever.
Whenever.
Watch for notifications.
Hopefully next time I can post a little bit in advance, and hopefully next time it's a little bit earlier. But
follow on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Yep. So, all right. Where's the end button?
Tim,
okay,
give our
best
button. Wishes to Mom, okay?
Yes, please tell her that we hope she's feeling better.
Never met her. I got to meet your dad.
We met his mom.
Did we? I don't think
yeah.
we did. Oh, yeah, we did. We
picked him up to go to Shakatumi or wherever it was we were going. I think it was Shakatumi. Was it Shakatumi?
Yeah.
I think that's where. Is that where we went, Tim? I think that's where we went. I'm pretty sure that's where we went.
Yeah, we're going to go back and watch the rest of the chats at Tim's that we missed.
Yes.
Because that monkey guy, man.
Comedy gold.
What a pain in the ass.
I'm so sorry you went through that, Tim, but...
Tim, you handled it well.
You did handle it well. I would have lost my cool a lot faster.
Because I know your whole thing was not to have drama, and he just... And the classic night was the night that he had to take a shit when he was on camera, and all of a sudden he bolted out of there, and you could tell like he was turning blue and stuff, and wow.
All right.
Did I say shit on you?
You did. We also said the F-bomb a couple of times.
Oh.
I think it's fine.
I'm hoping not to get in trouble.
Scott on Tape does it all the time.
Yeah. They just don't want you to talk about certain topics.
Certain topics. You're
like
not allowed
offing yourself.
Yeah. You're not allowed to talk about that. Okay. All right. We will talk to you guys later, and we'll do another live chat again sometime soon. So.
Classic CRAGG tomorrow. It won't be live, but if you've never heard it, it's new to you.
Thank you,
right.
Ghosty.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.